Today, we're talking about something that holds back so many English learners: translating in your head before you speak.
And we're going to share real, practical ways to break that habit and start thinking directly in English.
I'm Daniel.
And I'm Emma. Welcome back to English Foundry, where learning English is easy and relaxed.
Good to have you back, Emma.
Always good to be here. Quick reminder, subscribe to English Foundry so you don't miss new episodes.
Emma, let's start with a question. Have you ever noticed a student who understands everything you say, but takes a long pause before answering?
All the time, honestly. You can almost see them translating in their head before they speak.
Exactly. That little pause is usually the sound of translation happening, converting the sentence into their first language, thinking of the answer, then translating it back into English.
It's such a common stage. Almost every learner goes through it at some point.
Actually, Emma, can I share something personal? When I started learning Spanish a few years ago, I did exactly this. Someone would ask me a simple question, and I'd freeze for a few seconds, translating everything in my head first.
That's such a relatable story. I think a lot of our listeners are nodding right now.
It was honestly exhausting. By the end of a conversation, I felt mentally tired, even if the conversation itself was simple.
That mental exhaustion is so real. Translating uses so much more brain power than thinking directly in the language.
Exactly. And once I started applying some of the techniques we're about to share today, conversations became so much less tiring.
That's such a great personal example. It really shows this isn't just theory. These techniques genuinely work.
Definitely. So let's dig into why this translating habit forms in the first place. Emma, why do you think people translate in their head?
I think it's because it feels safer. Translating gives you a sense of control, since you're relying on words you already know well in your first language.
That makes sense. It's a natural strategy at the beginning. The problem is, it becomes slow and tiring the more advanced you get.
Right, because real conversation moves fast. If you're translating every sentence, you fall behind, and it becomes stressful.
Okay, so we understand why translating happens and how tiring it can be. But what happens once someone stops translating? Let's talk about that next.
Good question. Once you stop translating, you connect the English word directly to the idea or image in your mind, without your first language in between.
That's such a good way to put it. For example, when you see a dog, you don't think of your first language word first and then translate. You just think dog directly.
Exactly. No middle step. And that's really the goal for every part of the language, not just simple nouns like dog.
So how do we actually train our brain to do that? Let's go through some real techniques, starting with the easiest one.
Technique number 1. Label your surroundings. Literally, put English labels or sticky notes on objects in your home. Door, window, mirror, fridge.
I actually did this myself years ago. Every time I looked at the object, I saw the English word directly. No translation needed.
It sounds so simple, but it really works, especially in the beginning stages.
Technique number 2. Describe your day in your head, in English, as you're doing it. Not out loud necessarily, just internally.
I love this one. Like, I'm making coffee now, or I'm walking to the store. Small, simple present tense sentences.
Exactly. It forces your brain to form English sentences directly about your real life, instead of translating from your first language.
And it costs nothing, and you can do it literally anywhere, anytime.
Technique number 3, and this one surprises people. Stop translating individual words and start learning phrases as whole chunks.
Good point. Instead of learning how are and you separately, just learn how are you as one complete chunk.
Exactly. Because in real conversation, native speakers use these chunks automatically, without thinking about each word automatically.
That's such an important shift in mindset. Okay, we've covered 3 techniques already. What's a 4th one people can try?
Technique 4. Consume English content without subtitles in your first language. Podcasts, shows, videos, anything, really.
Like this podcast, actually. Listening without translating forces your brain to process meaning directly.
Exactly. That's honestly one of the best benefits of listening practice. Training your brain to skip the translation step entirely.
And even if you don't understand everything, that's completely okay. Your brain is still building direct connections.
Technique 5. Think in English before you speak, even for just a few seconds, instead of forming the sentence in your first language first.
This one takes practice, but it makes a huge difference. Start with very simple thoughts, like naming what you see around you.
Right. You don't need complex thoughts at first. I see a car. It's red. It's fast. Simple, connected thoughts, all in English.
Such a gentle way to build the habit. Let's talk about mistakes people often make while trying to think in English.
Good idea. One big mistake is trying to translate word for word from your first language, which often creates strange, unnatural sentences.
That's so true. Every language has its own structure, and forcing your first language's grammar onto English usually sounds off. Exactly. That's actually another reason learning phrases as whole chunks helps so much. You learn the natural structure directly. Another mistake? Expecting instant results. This mental shift takes weeks or months of consistent practice, not days.
Such an important point. Be patient with yourself. Small daily practice adds up more than people expect.
Let's talk about a really powerful exercise, the narrate your life technique, which builds on what we mentioned earlier. I love this one. Throughout your day, narrate your actions internally in English, like a quiet inner voice. I'm opening the door. I'm putting my shoes on. I'm checking my phone. Simple, continuous narration.
Exactly. And over time, this narration becomes automatic, without any translation happening at all.
It really trains your brain to default to English first, especially for everyday actions and routines.
Let's talk about a common question we get. Should you narrate silently in your head, or actually say it out loud?
Great question. Honestly, both work, but they help in slightly different ways.
Silent narration is great because you can do it anywhere. Walking, cooking, waiting in line, without looking strange to people around you.
Very true, especially in public. Speaking out loud, though, adds pronunciation practice on top of the thinking practice.
That's a great point. If you're at home alone, saying your narration out loud can double the benefit.
So maybe a mix of both, depending on where you are and what feels comfortable in the moment.
Exactly. There's no single correct way. The goal is just consistent practice in whatever form fits your day. Such a flexible, realistic approach. Let's also talk about dreaming in English, since a lot of learners mention this as a milestone.
Oh, this is such an exciting moment for learners. Many people say that once they start dreaming in English, something has really shifted.
It really is a sign that your brain has started processing English more naturally, even during sleep.
You can't force this one directly, but consistent immersion, like the techniques we mentioned, often leads to it naturally over time.
Let's talk about one more powerful method, self-talk, literally talking to yourself in English throughout the day.
This might feel strange at first, but it's incredibly effective. Even simple thoughts like, "What should I eat for lunch?" said internally in English.
Exactly. And the more natural, everyday the thoughts are, the more useful this practice becomes.
What kind of topics do you think work best for self-talk practice, Emma?
Honestly, anything mundane works great. Planning your grocery list, deciding what to wear, thinking through your schedule for the day.
Those are perfect examples because they're things we naturally think about anyway, so it doesn't feel forced.
Exactly. You're not creating extra work, just shifting the language of thoughts you're already having.
Some people even like to give themselves a pep talk in English before something stressful, like a meeting or a test.
Oh, I love that idea. Something like, "You've got this. You're prepared. Just take it one step at a time."
Such a powerful way to combine mindset and language practice at the same time.
Let's also mention something important. Accepting mistakes as part of this process, not as failures.
Such an important mindset shift. Thinking in English will feel clumsy and slow at first, and that's completely normal.
Exactly. Nobody skips that stage. Even advanced speakers went through this awkward, slower phase at some point.
One more small tip here. If you have a bilingual friend, ask them not to correct every single mistake while you're practicing out loud.
That's such good advice. Constant correction can actually make people more hesitant to think and speak freely.
Exactly. Save the corrections for a dedicated study time, and let free practice time just be about flow and confidence.
Such a healthy balance between accuracy and fluency. Let's talk a little about what's actually happening in the brain during this process, since it can help to understand it, not just practice it blindly.
Good idea. From what I understand, when you're translating, your brain is essentially doing double work, processing the first language, then converting it, then processing English.
Right, and that takes real mental energy, which is why it feels so tiring. Over time, with practice, your brain builds direct pathways for English.
Almost like building a new road, instead of always taking a long detour through your first language.
That's such a great way to picture it. And the more you use that new direct road, the stronger and faster it becomes.
It really does become easier with repetition, just like any new skill or habit.
Let's share a quick success story too, something we've heard from learners in our community. One listener told us they used the narration technique every single day for 2 months.
Oh, I remember that comment. They said they suddenly noticed themselves ordering coffee without translating at all, almost like it just happened naturally.
That's exactly the kind of breakthrough moment we're talking about. It doesn't always feel dramatic in the moment, but looking back, it's such a clear shift.
Such an inspiring story. It really shows that consistent, small practice truly does add up over time.
Definitely. Let's talk about one more helpful mindset tool, giving yourself permission to think in broken English at first.
Good point. Your internal thoughts don't need perfect grammar. Even simple, incomplete sentences in English are still progress.
Exactly. Like thinking, "Me go store now." Instead of forcing a perfect sentence, it's still moving away from translation.
It sounds funny, but it genuinely works as a stepping stone toward more natural thinking.
Over time, those broken thoughts naturally become more accurate, the same way a baby's sentences slowly become more complete.
Such a gentle, encouraging way to look at the process. Let's recap the techniques we've covered today. Labeling your surroundings, narrating your day, learning phrases as chunks, consuming content without translation, thinking before speaking, and talking to yourself in English.
That's such a complete toolkit. And here's the good news. You don't need to do all of them at once.
Exactly. Pick just one or two that feel manageable and build from there. Small, consistent steps really do add up.
Let's do a quick recap of key vocabulary and phrases from today. Translate in your head, direct connection, label your surroundings, narrate your day, learn phrases as chunks, consume content, think before speaking, self-talk, inner voice, dreaming in English.
Such a useful list for anyone working on this skill. Try picking a few phrases and applying them today, even just for a few minutes.
And remember, every single fluent speaker went through this exact same process. You're not behind, you're just on the path.
Such an encouraging way to think about it. All right, before we go, if this episode helped you, please subscribe to English Foundry and give it a like.
And share it with someone who's learning English. It really helps our channel grow. Here's your practice for today. Go to the comments and write one sentence in English describing what you're doing right now without translating first. We'd love to read your sentences and see how naturally they come to you.
And if you enjoyed this mindset-focused episode, our next one is all about staying motivated when learning English feels hard, because we all have those days.
That's such an important topic too. Thank you all so much for listening today.
Thank you all. Keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now. Take care.
Bye, everyone.